Good hunting. Jerry got one
Did you go bowling?
last Friday.
You got one?
Yep, nice buck. I've been out several times. I was
Make
getting
me deer sausage up there. I'll buy some deer sausage.
trying to stick that in there.
With pork in it or just straight deer sausage?
What?
With pork mixed or just
No, I
straight
like
deer?
straight deer sausage. Love straight deer sausage.
Well, they put pork in. It's usually like 50-50.
Is it
You're
really?
gonna lose your pin there.
Well, I'll eat it
I'm
then.
talking about the stuff that's more like
Yeah, otherwise
eat
it
with
would
cheese and stuff,
Yeah.
not the kind you cook.
Sure, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's
But
still
Mostly
got.
pork.
still, they mix it with
No,
pork.
it's like probably 50-50. Because otherwise it would be so dry.
Yeah,
Because there's no fat in deer.
Yeah,
It's so
I couldn't
Well,
eat
there
it
was somebody
straight.
who made it with jalapenos and
Marvin,
cheese in
didn't
it,
Marvin have
and
it
that
made
it
somewhere?
moist.
Yeah.
Combination of jalapenos and cheese made it kind of moist.
My brother-in-law used to jerk. Really good.
Already, I think.
I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Call commission order. Do you have any minutes or reports?
I do have the collector's fees for September. What's filed business?
Good. Do you know offhand, I had this question posited to me. Do you know if the prosecutor files a report showing how many felonies and misdemeanors he's prosecuted in the last year?
We get something from the sheriff's department.
No, I'm talking about from the
But not
prosecutor.
from- no.
You ever seen that?
No.
I don't ever recall him presenting that, do you? There's actually a statute. Somebody was talking to me about it, wanting to know about the report. And I guess
And
there's
it's-
actually a statute that says he has to every year file a report showing all the felonies and misdemeanors.
Maybe we should have Jill send him a letter.
Or I'll just talk to him. I don't want to make it. He's a little busy at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but it's just one of those things that somebody asked me if we could provide that, and I said, well, I know like during budget, he sits here and kind of says, hey, I did a bunch of stuff last year, but I don't remember getting a formal report.
Never get anything. Like I said,
We didn't get anything in the budget
felonies from
last year,
the-
did we?
I do get the felonies from Greg on his report of how much it cost for being over there and stuff, but nothing from him.
Some of those statutes just get lost and,
Oh, I know. And if there's not, and particularly if it doesn't get handed on, for lack of a better term, you lose the continuity.
yeah, you find those things.
All right, Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, announcements of upcoming meetings and events. This morning, Wall Street Group, Small Business of the Year.
Oh, did they get?
Oh, did you
Went
go
to the
that?
breakfast, yeah.
Oh,
And
good for them.
there were 4 finalists: Wall Street Group, Rollins Automotive, Coffee Zone,
Oh,
and Marshall and Company Hair Salon.
oh, wow.
So, Wall Street Group
Make
won.
it this morning.
Congratulations to them. And tomorrow we have leadership.
Another meeting.
I don't know if there's anything else, Kevin. When's our next meeting? Sometime
Not
next
till
week.
next week, the 31st.
Halloween. Halloween is our next meeting.
I was just gonna ask, if I do get health insurance information before then, are you available for another meeting that week? Or?
It's a bad week. I just warn you right now. Jay's at Rockbridge tomorrow.
I'm constantly trying to get Joe, and she's hoping by the end of the week to have an answer, so,
We have bid opening tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
That's not the one we're going to try to vote on when we open it, are we?
No, well,
I have a TIF commission meeting Monday night.
November 8th is the one we're going to try to do.
How's that it?
Yeah, because it's on my calendar for 9 o'clock, and I don't want to be here at 9 o'clock for it on being there when it's ready to go.
If we had to, I could probably do something at 10 on Monday.
10 on Monday.
On Monday. Tuesday I'm out of town. Wednesday I'm out of town. And then we're at Thursday when we have our next meeting. So
Jeff, is Monday at 10 looking okay for you?
Make
I would
something.
prefer not to add that, but if it's absolutely necessary.
I've got a feeling we won't be able to. I'm just hoping by the 31st, we'll discuss it and we'll be able to vote on it, because we're definitely running out of time.
Oh, I
Which one
agree.
is this?
Health
Health
insurance.
insurance.
Oh.
They don't have any incentive to move quickly.
Well, when it changes every week, how are we supposed to?
Well, this is supposed to be, when we hear back from, now it's supposed to be firm from the carriers,
Okay.
so, unless we want to tweak benefits,
Well, I'd like to see what the firm is.
yes.
You know,
I
I don't.
know.
Why would you tweak? It seems to me, why would you tweak benefits before you know what the cost
No, I understand. I was just thinking that meeting on the 31st might involve all of that. Tweaking and,
Well, not until we know what the numbers are. It's, you know, I mean, off the top of my head, what did we spend last year?
on employee costs or.
Total.
Total.
Well, how big a check did we write?
Every month it's like 150,000, but that includes dependents and that includes
I know, so it's only
retirees.
1.8 million? Out of all funds, all sources?
Yes, all sources.
Because I think the one that they showed us was 2.4 million.
Well,
And that was like $300,000 cheaper than keeping our insurance. The same as it is today.
Maybe it's more than 100. I thought it was 146 last.
That seems
month,
about right, 'cause it
payroll-wise.
seemed like it was about $500,000 more or something else.
It was 29% was the increase on fully insured. Was 29%.
Right, definitely was.
And so 30%, you know, if it was 1.8 million, 30% doesn't even get you 2.4 million.
Current is 1.87.
Okay.
Where you at? What page are you on?
2.4. This said
So
medical
that's
rate.
Okay.
definitely right, whatever that shows right there.
Current's 1.8, 2.4, 29 points. Yeah, I guess it was 2.4, but then the self-insured one was only 2.4. Oh, it was the max was 2.4. That's what it was. Max exposure.
It depends how much.
That's
you
right.
wanna
I remember it was. That's right.
Set back.
Okay. Well, we'll just talk about it when time comes. Again, until we know what the answers are, we can't ask good questions.
No.
It sounded backwards, didn't it?
And that will be a long meeting, I'm
Sometimes
sure.
you gotta know the answer before you can ask a question, right?
Maybe you have to know the answers to some questions before you can ask other ones. How's that? Does that make more sense? I feel like I'm putting the cart behind the horse.
With lipstick.
But I do have vinyl seats and roll down windows.
Oh, God.
I entertain a motion to approve accounts payable.
Mine's out of there, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so moved.
I don't have one either, do I? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed. Motion carries. Second final reading of budget adjustment number 14.
14, this is for $12,497.75. This is the law enforcement, it's the, I forgot what this was.
Here you go.
Okay, MoPrem, it was the insurance.
This is the insurance on the car. Entertain a motion to approve budget adjustment 14 in the amount of $12,497.75.
So moved?
Second, call roll, please. Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Next is first reading of budget adjustment number 15.
This is for $10,000, no action today, it's the health department on the WIC grant, extra money that they received.
All right, $10,000. It'll pend for 10 days, and then we'll take it up at whatever date that becomes.
Yep, it's on.
Okay. You have anything else?
I
Yeah,
do
he
have,
sends me a copy of
Oh, he
that
does?
too,
Okay,
so-
I didn't know.
when did you put the sheriff's thing? Oh, that was the 31st, wasn't it?
Anything else?
I-
Anything else?
Okay, one question. Greg, you guys gave permission for Greg to go out to bid on some, let me see
Camp
if I get this
for
right,
sheriff.
water line brackets and installation for
Yes.
shoe
Okay,
at
for
the
the
sheriff's
jail.
Yes.
I guess, I'm not clear as to on capital improvements that you guys go ahead and tell Greg to do. It's probably gonna be a $10,000 venture here. The sheriff and his budget has in the past couple years paid for capital improvements. He's a little excited about this one because he didn't know about it. He didn't want to pay the advertising cost. And then, which drove me to the project is gonna be $10,000. Is that coming out of our sales?
Well, I would
tax?
say we'll pay the advertising cost. Just pay it. It's not worth fighting over.
No.
And then let's see what it comes in at. Let's get the bids back, and then we can figure out what we need to do. We may, I don't know what the answer is on that till we know it.
My first inclination is that it's the law enforcement center and that needs to come from over there. And the bottom line is it's coming from county funds.
Yeah. But
So whether general pays for it or Greg does.
the advertising's $100 or something like that. $200.
Close to two.
It's not like the advertising
No,
has
it
any
wasn't
wrong
that. It's the bid that's gonna come in is what I'm worried about.
But when we award, we'll figure out where to pay it out of.
Okay. because we're walking a fine line with them. It's something different, you know. We tell them to do it.
Yeah, we probably should bring Greg in on some of these
Well,
questions.
you know,
We're
it
having
is
these
our
discussions.
buildings.
It is our building.
Yeah, but we're paying for it out of the fund
But
that's
this-
appropriated through him because the auditor will not allow us to segregate the money out of that fund.
But it's something that came from when we built it, and it wasn't done right, we're having to fix.
And they're
And
paying
that money all
the
came from
law
the
enforcement.
bond.
Well, we funneled it through the law enforcement. We're making the payments on the bond through the law enforcement.
But the problem is that the auditor. Is she out there?
No, she shouldn't be. No, she's already signed.
The auditor will not allow us to properly set up that account. I mean, the way that account ought to be set up, in all honesty, is just like we do with the ambulance, the money ought to come in to one fund, and a portion of that fund ought to go to the sheriff for his budget for operations. And the corpus of that fund should stay under us to pay for the bond and in capital improvements only for the law enforcement facility. That's how it ought to be broken out. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why Jim will not agree with that. Because I don't think Greg would ever, and I don't think John, if he becomes the sheriff after Greg, would ever intentionally decide not to make the bond payment.
Right.
But if they chose to, what do we do? Because we appropriate it to them, and they get control. And we've learned the hard way, once you appropriate money to the other side.
It's kind of like on the capital improvement part of it too. We were appropriating money to him for him to spend. So, and that's where this one is in a hard spot right now.
Just pay for that out of our publication.
No, I mean the $10,000 bill.
But we don't know. We'll wait till that comes in. Let's see what it comes in at. Let's see what it takes.
Okay.
What else?
I know you can't be a part of this. I'm just asking.
Then don't bring it up.
I need to.
Okay, look. You don't
It's a
have
concept. We're not voting on.
you
a
don't
budget.
have him here.
We're not voting on.
You
a
don't have
budget.
Chris here. If I can't be a part of it, that means you only have Jeff here. So why would you even bring it up?
Well,
Why would you even bring it
I
up?
need to know if you can't be a part of it.
Does it have to do with central bank?
Yeah.
Then I can't be a part of it.
But
See how
it's-
easy that was?
But it's not voting on them. It's voting on the concept, do we want to do this again?
Do what again?
Invest at the end of the year to get the money out of their reserves.
I thought we did that. I thought the treasurer did that.
Okay. He wants to.
But I mean, I thought that was the treasurer's call, and then he comes down
We
and makes a
voted on it
recommendation.
in here last
Right,
year.
but he
Well, have
came down
him-
and make a recommendation.
Yeah, have him come down and
Okay.
tell him,
I just
or
need to
me,
know
put
if
it
you
on
want
the
it
agenda.
I think it has to be on the agenda.
Yeah, put it on
Okay.
the agenda and we'll have him make his recommendation and,
Okay.
yeah, if that's what he recommends. I think it's pretty cut and dry.
And I just, when that item comes on the agenda, I'll just get up and walk out of the room and not participate because it's a conflict, and even just participating in it,
Well,
even if
voting
I don't
on that,
vote,
where it
is I think
goes
is a conflict.
But voting on whether we invest it. But when it comes down to voting on the investment, it does involve him because it's of where it's going. So
Exactly.
just keep it safe. And
All right, I'll put it on the agenda then. And that's about it tonight, Joe.
You got anything
The
else?
insurance.
no, that Mac there was some interesting stuff going on down there, and there was a ton of sheriffs. So we was all wondering what's going on here, and we know we had the salary commission talk, and they had their director of their association talked about them wanting to make more money, which he said there was one sheriff at one time that was eligible for food stamps. The way I understood it, he's still eligible for food stamps. I said, how the hell does that happen? But some of them I guess
Well,
they just changed the law
based on
too, where
the
they have that
assessed
new
value.
fund.
See back, and now you're talking about sheriffs or sheriff's deputies.
This was sheriffs,
Okay,
but sheriff's
so-
deputies talk also came in
So,
too.
so sheriffs back in the old days, and not in Cole County because we were second class and we were first class county, but in third and fourth class counties, sheriffs used to be a fee based office. So you got like a negligible salary, like $500 a month, and then you got your fees, and you operated off of your fees. As the legislation changed over the years, and everybody recognized that paying the sheriff off of fees was really not a good idea because it gave them an actual interest in arresting people, a monetary interest, and they went to a salary-based system. Well, in a lot of counties, they did not They didn't move the salary right up to what a lot of those sheriffs were making in
No, they weren't
fees.
making-
But ours is based on assessed valuation.
Yeah. I mean, there was a sheriff down in southeast Missouri when I was working in the auditor's office who was making $130,000 a year because he owned all the sheriff's vehicles.
And
He charged mileage to the county for it.
Kind of like the.
And so it wasn't income.
That used to be a fee.
It wasn't income because he was getting mileage. So he was making like $130,000 a year, but his salary was like $18,500.
Well, they didn't raise a big thing. They're just somewhere that there's money that comes to the sheriffs. I forget what the fund was, but they're wanting to try to
Tap
funnel
into
that towards that. And then one of the arguments was that, you know, if you do that, then you got to make up for that from the general fund. So it really doesn't help the
Yeah.
counties. They don't have money for this. So then what are you going to do? And his argument was, well, we went to legislature and we're going to try to get more money coming in from something else. And so we're bringing in 600,000 and we're only wanting 400,000 out of it. So it didn't really get heated at all. I was kind of wondering. I thought that's the perfect thing to do on Tuesday morning, get everybody riled up and then send them home. So, but it really didn't. But the salary commission, they did talk about that. And one thing that they mentioned that I found interesting was that when you vote for the COLA raise, the next guy that comes in does not get the salary with that COLA raise.
Nobody knows
Is
the
that
answer.
right or wrong?
We have a legal
do
opinion.
it.
We have a legal
I know,
opinion that
that's-
says that's not correct.
Because Chris is making the same thing as I am.
Who
And if-
said that?
Ivan didn't say a whole lot up there. He's in a little bit of heat
Ivan
right
won't
now.
touch it. But he
Well-
won't touch. He won't touch those issues.
Ivan's in a little trouble right now because he represented somebody that was suing somebody else, and it ended up being the treasurers and the commissioners or something. And since he represents Mac, he should have never walked into that. And I talked to Dick Burke. I said, "How does that work?" I thought Ivan was smarter than it. He goes, "Nah, he knows he messed up." I was like, "But that's common sense." I mean, and I know you probably don't have the highest regards for Ivan's opinions anyway, but he, I said, "You all pretty much got to replace him, don't you?" He goes, "Well, it's going to be a board decision. That's going to come up."
You're on the board, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'll be anxious to see what happens there. I get along with Ivan. He's a
I-
hoot, but
I don't have anything personally wrong with Ivan. I don't like the fact that we pay as a commission for Mac, who pays for Ivan.
But then when we need something, we get nothing.
Well, you would have to pay the extra $2,000.
No, we get nothing. We get nothing
In
as
our
a
normal
commission.
fees?
As a commission. So we pay for everything,
Mhm.
and we get nothing. No offense, Betty.
Mhm.
But if we have a dispute with the clerk's office, we can't get Ivan to do anything.
No.
And we can't get Mac to do anything. Because they stand up and say, "Oh no!"
Or we defend all of
We
it.
we don't take any sides in these things. Well,
Come on. Who's paying the bills here?
so then maybe we just get rid of Ivan and lower the.
just get rid of Mac.
It produces other benefits besides the.
I'm still at a loss to find what those benefits are. I find actually more benefit from NACO than I do from Mac.
NACO with our office supplies pays for
And
themselves.
and the prescription cards that they use too.
Yeah, I'm not sure utilization of that. I'm not sure.
There's a fair amount of people who use them, and there is a discount on them. So,
I just didn't. I don't know. I don't get
But,
those statistics.
but Mac gives us nothing.
I've worked with some things on, like the Solid Waste Management District Board, some of the legislative stuff. I don't know how far that necessarily got us, but I don't know. It's just like chamber. It's one of those things that's hard to measure the
Yeah.
benefit that you get from them, and we're going to take a little heat for being part of it, but
I'm only here for one more year, so if you guys want to
All right. quit
throw another
saying
$8,000 or
that.
$9,000 down the rat hole, you're welcome to do it. I will vote no on that, just like I did last time.
I think they have good speakers and stuff like that at those meetings. Years ago they did. I don't know if they do anymore. or not.
well, that's great. So we pay $9,000 a year plus the registration fee to go down there, so you can have comedy night at 8:30 in the morning.
I don't remember that.
they had a comedian this year.
It's been a lot of years that I've.
He
been
was
there.
pretty funny.
And then they kind of banned you guys from bringing other people. I thought it's for you guys to go. not for your people in your office to go. And I understand that.
No. I don't know. Like I said before, though, I learned more from the sitting around and talking about what's going on around the county with other people than I do in the breakout sessions. There was one session that I tried to get myself to go to, but it was I just couldn't. It was how to handle the transgendered folks in jail. I was laughing so freaking hard.
Yeah, you better not go to
I
that.
said, "Are you serious? I won't be able to sit there with a straight face or not say anything."
All right. Is there anything else on that note? Happy note.
It's recorded.
I'd entertain a motion to stand in recess.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
I think there was a lot of people that were going to that just to
For entertainment?
just to see it.
I would say,
I don't know if it's just funny because it is an issue or just
right.
we're gonna waste time talking about that. How many times is that?